One day Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, should I not try to find a home for you where you will be well provided for? Is not Boaz one of our kinsmen?" And she says, after the men have done all of their threshing and feasting, whatever it is they're doing, they're all just going to sleep there in the threshing area. She says, go to sleep at the foot. After he falls asleep, sleep at his feet. He will know what that means. And what you need to do is when he wakes up, say, "Can you put a corner of your blanket over me?" I don't know what this means, but apparently it looks like batting your eyelashes or something. So So he says, "The Lord bless you, my daughter," he replied. "This kindness is greater than you have shown earlier. You have not went after the younger man, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, do not be afraid. I will do for you all that you ask." So Boaz goes to the city. He knows what to do. And Naomi knows what's going on. Ruth's a little bit lost in this whole thing because she's from a totally different culture. So Boaz goes to the gate of the city and he waits because apparently there is a relative between him and Naomi. So because if someone marries Ruth, they would get the inheritance that her husband who died would have gotten. So that needs to stay in the family, and that's why Boaz, being somebody in the line of the family, would be entitled to marry her. But there's another person in between. So he waits at the gate of the city, and he says, when he sees the guy coming up, "Oh, hey, Uncle Bob, would you like to get that land that belonged to Naomi's son?" "Oh, yeah, I want that land," Uncle Bob says. And so he says, "Okay, that's great. But in order for you to get that land, you have to marry Naomi's widowed daughter-in-law, Ruth." He's like, "Oh, no, I don't want that land then." He's like, "Okay, well, I'll buy that land from you then." "Yeah, absolutely." "Okay, great, awesome." So Uncle Bob and Boaz, his name is not Uncle Bob, make this deal to go ahead and for Boaz to get that land. And so Boaz is now the next in line, the one that can go marry Ruth. So he goes and he marries Ruth. And Naomi, who had nothing in this world, she had no husband, no sons, no family to take care of her, now all of a sudden is feasting at the wedding feast of her daughter-in-law, Ruth, who's now married to Boaz. So they get married and they have a child. And the end of the book ends with Naomi holding this child and being filled with so much joy. Now she not only has a family, she's the grandmother of this family, now she's got grandchildren at her knee. She's so happy. And Ruth, this lady who's not even born to Israel, ends up again being an incredible woman that God uses. And she and Boaz are in the line, the great-great-great-grandparents of King David, of King Solomon, and eventually of King Jesus.